10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, the daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool community. My name is Wack. Today is January 18th, and we're going to get started here with some really saddening news, actually. There was a tweet that went out yesterday. Here's a screenshot of it because it's since been deleted. It says, Rocket Pool, a vulnerability has been reported in our smart contracts that is being exploited by bad actors. We urge all users to migrate their assets now to be safe during this time. Migrate your assets to the temporary version 2 contracts below to avoid losses. And then there's a link to a website that looks like rocketpool.net, but it's not. If you click it, it's like bad things happen. So here, there's this urgency of the tweet, and there wasn't any other verification of this information coming out from anywhere. So pretty much right away, this got the alarm bells ringing for people that the Rocket Pool Twitter account had been hacked, and that it'd been sending people to an exploit, basically. So let's have a look what we saw. And here, this is what it looks like right now. So the account is still compromised, and here, the most recent post says, as a celebration of our growth as a community, we believe it's time for an airdrop. As a testament to our growth, we have almost reached 1 million ETH staked across our node operators. Claim your free RPL tokens below. And then there's a link, and there's a community notes underneath saying that this account has been hacked. Any links they post are likely to be scams. Yeah, I'm just saying that I agree with the community note. And yeah, so this is a scam and you're likely to be hacked. So what's going on over here? If you have a look at this wallet address that was linked to the hacker, you can see that Etherscan now tells you this address is reported to be involved with a wallet drainer. Please exercise caution when interacting with this address. Reported by Block Merge Labs. So if you have a look, you can see that there's been some transactions here that have happened, a whole bunch of them. They were linked to the Pink Drainer wallet, as you can see over here. And sadly, a whole bunch of people fell victim to this. Now, in the beginning stages of the compromised Twitter account, were really right away, 15 minutes later, Fornax had a tweet out, update out to the community saying, urgent security notice, we regret to inform you that the Rocket Pool official Twitter account has been compromised. For your safety, please refrain from interacting with any post, direct message or notifications originating from our account until we can confirm its security. There is no threat to the Rocket Pool smart contracts and no migration is needed. Stay tuned for further updates and confirmation of when our account is secure and back under our control. And then we got the same post from Langers as well, with the same text, pretty much right away after the account was compromised. Now, in the time after that, people started asking questions like, how was this compromised? Was there no 2FA? Was the password a bad password? So Langers right away kind of started saying, we have decent OPSEC, we have a strong password and 2FA, and says we're investigating a bit. Twitter is pretty rubbish. Now, that is a key theme that we're going to come back to in a few minutes. And then Halulo, a little while later was saying, thankfully, no one has been scammed. He says there was a single transaction with 0.2 ETH right around when they initially posted, but that's it. So thankfully, at the time, it looked like there wasn't anything too bad happening. And that, it was, thankfully, most people had kind of caught on to the fact that this was going to be a scam. Sadly, that wasn't the case as we started to get more information. And Hello here again said, it seems like they did get some people in the end. And then there was a bunch of transactions that were interacting with the malicious contracts and people getting their wallets drained. Sadly, the worst piece of news came a little while later, where here DeFi by Night said, I got taken for over 6 figures due to the hack. Is there any advice on what I can do? I'm dying here. So here, he has some addresses and some information that kind of was verifying that information. And he said that the first tweet from the hacker kind of got them, because what they were doing was, as they were writing the tweets, they were then deleting previous tweets and kind of presenting their hack in a different way. At one point, they even lied. I'm going to actually talk about that next. But here, DeFi by Night was, saying that where they were, it says there was one after where they were offering to move to version 2, where they were offering RPL, and basically he has since filled out an FBI report, but it's likely nothing that he can do, and it's most likely that his money is all gone. So 6 figures, is over $100,000. That is, an incredibly substantial amount of money for anyone. And he says, I'm not usually this stupid. I just had a lapse in judgment for a split second, and I'm so dumb. And he basically got punished quite badly. And Chaos said, that's all it takes. Last week, I literally paused while hovering my finger over the approve button over the airdrop. That would have taken me for everything. I'm sorry this happened to you. And DeFi by Night says, I wonder if the Rocket Pool team will offer anything. I know it's mostly my fault and they're not a charity. Happy to contribute to help to earn some of it back. But I'm project manager at fintech company. So this is the kind of really sad situation that kind of arose out of this. And I really hope that, DeFi by Night is okay. Sadly, the chances of him getting his money back is 0 pretty much. But hopefully, the psychological toll isn't too hard. And yeah, it's really, really horrible that this has happened. It's a really sad day in our community that, the impact of this has been felt. And sadly, hackers like these will keep doing it. And as long as, you just need 1 or 2 people to fall for it and they can make hundreds of thousands of dollars, they're going to keep doing it. The only tip that I have, I was talking to Pat about this on this week's Weekly Orbit episode as well, where we're saying that, people have to be on guard for every single piece of news that they get, whether it's from official accounts or secondary accounts or Discord or Twitter or anywhere else. Every single piece of information, your default position should be skepticism, and that's a really tough mental position to be in. But sadly, it's the only one that you're safe with, and even then it's relatively safe, right? The first instance, be suspicious. Second instance, verify the information through other channels, talk to other people about it, talk in the Discord if it's a Twitter thing, talk about it on Twitter if it's a Discord thing, go to Reddit and talk to people in ETH Finance, verify the information. And the extra minute could potentially save you from losing thousands. And that's really horrible that that has to be said. Sadly, there's no undos. Here Haludo said the blockchain doesn't have undos. So yeah, right now, after that, the scammers were trying to be really creative with the way they were scamming. So here Ben Eddington had a screenshot of a tweet that was later deleted. The scammer said the damages have been assessed and those affected by the exploit are able to claim their refunds now. We're allowing everyone to claim free RPL tokens as an apology for letting this happen. Claim your refunds and free RPL tokens below. So if you got caught in the first scam, then they've got a new scam here that they're trying to catch you in. So there's layers upon layers of these scams, and as people started tweeting about it, they turned off their replies and kind of locked down the account as much as they could. And people, thankfully, Ben here, Superphase, Anthony Sassano, Jasper, a whole bunch of people in the community. Of course, people like Langers, Ken, and others, they were tweeting out about the account being compromised and not to interact with it because it's not good. And for those of you who are curious about who did this draining, well, this Pink Drainer here, and there's an in-depth analysis of Pink Drainer, so how they do it, and what other attacks they've done before. So they attacked Vitalik's account, Twitter account, Slingshot's Twitter account, OpenAI's CTO's Twitter account, Orbiter Finance Discord group, and then there's some information on how they do it and what mechanisms they use to kind of capture this these accounts, and then how they exploit them. So please always be on the defensive when it comes to these matters, because it's a dark forest out there, and anytime you poke your head out, you can get scammed. And that's horrible to say, but sadly that's the reality of the situation we're in right now. And we can only be as much as we can say that the actions of the others are horrible, and they absolutely are, we have to, sadly, and this is horrible that we have to do this, but we have to be careful of our own actions as well. Okay, and then this is where we stand right now. Is Dave put out this post. He says, as you all know, the Twitter account for Rocket Pool was compromised. In the early hours, our usual approach was to in our usual approach, we're happy to be fully transparent about all that occurred for this unfortunate situation to transpire and the actions we took to resolve it, and what we're doing social media wise going forward is we have timeline events that we'll be posting in the follow-up post-mortem very soon. But here are some hard facts. So they had 2FA enabled, and it's been enabled for years, and they only used app-based, not phone-based. The password, great complexity, and only used for the Twitter account, nowhere else. It says we haven't received any emails from Twitter about suspicious login attempts, changes to any account details or related. The Twitter support has been the worst we've come across. This post-mortem will elaborate in detail, and the issues are ongoing due to the above. The account is still not under our control, so do not interact with anything. And that's where we stand right now. You can read all of Dave's post to get the information from there. But it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Like it's a sad day in the Rocket Pool community. The fact that some of our community members lost so much money in this is really despicable. Like, it's a really horrible situation. Okay, moving on from there, last night was also rewards night. So this time the rewards price for the RPL got locked in 2 hours before the snapshot period ended and the rewards period ended, and the price locked in was at 0.01335. Sadly, RPL took a bit of a hit yesterday, so even people who during the day thought that they might be above the ratio to the 10% collateral level to get rewards, the price fell down. So a bunch of people who thought they would be getting rewards sadly missed out on those rewards because of that price decrease, and because it was so close to the reward snapshot, people didn't have time to react to increase their collateral. So I think that caused some issues there as well. The rewards night itself actually went through really smoothly this time. Right at time, Sneaky said, "Let's go," and there was joking about how the rewards are going to be coming down in the coming periods. People are going to be, as more people come online to stake. Here Dookie was saying, ever diminishing money, but Scuzzle said mine went up this period because this was the first period with the tree generation using the RPIP 30 rewards. So it was month 1 of 6 of that ramp in for those rewards. But everything went smoothly in terms of the rewards happening. And here there was, the epochs were, you had to wait 2 epochs before the rewards came in. So Joe was telling people, just be calm, it's all good. And then we got the everything went through and it was all good. So here reward submissions were coming in at 52 and 12 o'clock and 52 minutes in the morning, and then a couple of minutes more later they were done. So this was really cool. Like it went through without a hitch, which was nice after everything that happened during the day. One of the side effects of everything going well, was that the RPL token inflated by about 75,000 tokens, and the new supply of RPL now is 20,066,401. So Patches calculated this a few weeks ago that in the next rewards period the inflation would hit 20 million. Because of the inflation, we'd hit 20 million, and that's what happened right here. So the inflation occurred and people got the staking rewards, and also the GMC and IMC will be getting some of that money, which is nice to see. Okay, next we have this update from Joe a little bit right before rewards. He popped in and he says, "Hi, how are you?" He says, "Right now I'm amused." And he says, "Is it because of the Twitter account?" He says, "Not that, but you'll see soon enough." And Sneaky says, "It smells like a bakery in here." And Joe says he's working on version 2 of the smartnode stack and trying to get alpha version out of it before paternity leave, and it's going to be close. So it's really great. Like right now, his wife is at 34 weeks of her pregnancy, and she is really close to her delivery. And we have Joe says, because of that, he's not going to be able to come to Denver. But basically, I think one of the last things he's going to be doing is getting the alpha release of the smartnode version 2 out. And then I think he's going to leave it to the community and Fornax basically to work with that in the coming weeks. So hopefully we'll be getting that out soon. And this period of the last few weeks of the pregnancy is the baby could come at any point now. So I know Joe's trying to get things wrapped up as much as possible before he's in that sorry guys, I'm out now phase. So congratulations to Joe, and I'm really excited for him, but also to see smartnode Stack version 2. Okay, next we got this question from Amkritchi. I have no idea how to pronounce it, I'm sorry, saying, I have a question about Denver liftoff. Would it be silly to RSVP and miss some of the 1.5 days of events? For example, only join the first half of the second day? And Ken says, not at all. He says, I expect people will pop in and out, of course, because it'll be happening at the same time as ETH Denver. So then he was asked, how many node operators are you expecting to join? And he says, so far, the node operator workshops, most likely held on the Saturday and maybe Sunday, can fit up to 40 people in each classroom. For the strategic planning session, we can also fit 40 people in the classroom. That'll happen on Saturday. He says we can host up to 270 people in the theatre room for the learning forum. He says, I don't know the total attendance expected, but we're planning for these numbers, and that can adjust catering down a few days before. He says if we get a lot of node operator workshop RSVPs, we can add another session. He says Diva did a similar session in Istanbul and it was packed. So this of course has not been approved by the GMC yet. Hopefully that we'll get some clarity on that, but Ken is already full on planning mode, and liftoff I think is going to be really exciting for those of you who are attending Denver. Okay, another thing that Ken came across this morning was, he says, I was scrolling my Twitter feed and I came across this. I wanted to share it with the community and congratulate Mentor on publishing his book. So then he shared a tweet, and with the tweet we see that here it says, I'm releasing my Blockchains Are Mostly Useless book today. It's available for free on GitHub, so you don't have to pay for it if you want to read it, but it's also available for print on Amazon. So you can buy it through Amazon and they'll send you a print version. It says the small book covers a framework for how to think about blockchains in very specific circumstances use and how it makes sense. So there's some artwork here. Blockchains are mostly useless, understanding the limited use of blockchains, by Mentor. So congratulations on Mentor for getting his book done. I know that's a really cool milestone for him. So that's congratulations. I'm really looking forward to buying a print copy and adding it to my book of my list of books that people in crypto have released. It's growing every year, which is really wonderful. Okay, and finally, we're going to finish with some news that came out yesterday about the SEC and Coinbase. So they are, the SEC is currently suing Coinbase for listing securities on the exchange and acting as a non-licensed securities broker. Well, yesterday Coinbase had a motion to dismiss the case in front of a judge, and this, the whole of Discord, the trading was talking about it. It was really caught the attention of the community for the 4 hours that it went on for, and people were talking about it the whole time, sharing tweets, sharing ideas. And we had this person, eHack, that had a live stream going on that I was following along. And in this, I listened to like 3.5 hours of the case live. And it was fascinating. It's been a while since I followed a legal case so closely, but it was really, really interesting stuff. And the SEC, I think got hammered quite hard by the judge. So I think that was really interesting to see. If you're curious about what happened with that, follow the discussion. But the judge really asked some pointed questions of the SEC, and they couldn't really answer them in a satisfactory way. And when it came to Coinbase, they presented some arguments with very strongly, and some of them a little bit less strongly. But overall, I think they did a good enough job to, make enough questions in the SEC's suit that there's a chance that this could even be dismissed. The judge, of course, didn't make a bench decision. That will be coming in the next few weeks. But, normally these kind of dismissals are really rare to happen. And, if the case gets dismissed at this stage, it'll be a huge blow to the SEC and a huge win for Coinbase. So this is definitely something that we all should be paying attention to, because it's actually a really big deal. But because the ramifications are quite huge for the wider crypto community and markets in the US especially. But this was definitely something that you can read up on. So the tokens that they were talking about being securities were things like Solana, Cardano, Internet, computer, etc. There was 12 of them. But Kevin, the guy who was providing this information, says there's a 90% shot that Coinbase wins this. I went in to this short Coinbase due to ETF sell news hype and thinking Coinbase would lose. I believe I was wrong to have that option based on 4.5 hours. I listened to here. I closed my short before the arguments were over and then posted the alert on the Stocks and Psychology of Money group. Bottom line, in my opinion, no guarantees, but Coinbase wins and the crypto community wins this one. So that's really strong terms here from Kevin, who provided this summary, but dig into it and there's some really good reasoning for why he's saying that. It's definitely fascinating. So on that note, thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. Sadly, today was, a sad episode, but hopefully tomorrow's will be better. And on that note, I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.